On this week's episode, we're going to be announcing the 2024-2025 Spotlight Series winners and also previewing the 2025 UKC Youth Nationals. You'll want to hang tight for this one.
You're listening to the UKC Hunting Ops Podcast, celebrating hunting dog heritage, competition, and community. United Kennel Club has been the hunting dog sports home for coonhounds, beagles, retrievers, pointers, cur, feist, and more for over 125 years.
Welcome back to the UKC Hunting Ops Podcast. This is Trevor Wade. I'm the Coonhound Program Manager at UKC, and I'm joined today by the Director of Hunting Ops, Alan Gingrich. What's going on, Alan?
Man, it's the day before the 4th of July weekend. Happens, the 4th falls on a Friday, so this is a Thursday, and we get through today. Why, the weekend starts today, so it's a good day. Phones have been light in the office today, so I guess a lot of people are probably out on the lake already for the 4th of July. I don't know, but yeah, looking forward to the weekend. But we've got a podcast here. We're going to talk about some Spotlight Series stuff again today.
Yeah, if you're keeping up with the bulletin at all, in Tuesday's bulletin, so it was the 10th one I did, talked about how July and August is kind of a slower time for the major event schedule. You know, obviously you have Autumn Oaks at the end of August there, but there's quite a few youth events and state championships and obviously Youth Nationals putting a bow on that here in the end of July. So I thought it might be an appropriate timing to talk about the youth a little bit, because it hasn't been very long now, about a little bit over a month since our Spotlight Series year ended.
Yeah. Hey, Trevor, you mentioned something, your bulletin. I want to plug that just for a second. You do a weekly bulletin on the UKC news page. Is that where it's at? That's where it lives?
Yeah, Coonhound News.
Every Tuesday. Man, I don't know how they can get any better, but the one you posted this week again, you have a dog of the week. You started posting that. You've got your all-quarter century cast interactive game. That is just freaking awesome. And I want to do a little plug for you here. Folks need to go check that out. Every Tuesday, that lands on your bulletin lands on the UKC news page, and it is chock full of information.
I was putting so many daily posts on my personal page, and I'm right there close to my 5,000 friend limit, and I don't want anybody to miss out on vital information. So doing the bulletin on the website, everybody has access that way. As long as I'm consistent with it and get it out every Tuesday, they know exactly where to go, and they can get all the information that they need for pertinent information for what's going on, like Autumn Oaks entries just open, World Championship entries just open. This series is starting, this one's ending. Things to know. Pro Slam's coming up, so there's a lot of good stuff on there. Be sure you're checking out every Tuesday. We're sharing it on our UKC Coonhounds Facebook page every Tuesday. If you get the newsletter, the email newsletter, it comes out every Tuesday and typically has a link to the UKC Coonhounds news. So stay up to date on that stuff, and you'll never miss out on anything you need to know. You won't have to call and complain about missing deadlines or not knowing about what's going on. You'll be in the know if you read that thing every Tuesday.
Yeah, a lot of information there. It's a lot. I asked you how long it takes you to put all that together, and it doesn't take you as long as it would me, but it's a lot of information. Good information too. You're doing a great job with it.
Well, I appreciate it. And starting out this episode talking about the youth, we probably shouldn't and can't do that first without talking about the presenting sponsor of the Spotlight Series. And since the inception, something I didn't realize until me and you were having a conversation a few weeks ago, Mr. Ray Conrad and his team there at Bright Eyes Lights, a big-time staple at UKC Major Events. We're talking about, if you go to Winter Classic, you're going to see Bright Eyes Lights on the table. If you go to Autumn Oaks, you're going to see Bright Eyes Lights on the table. If you go to the World Championship, you're going to see 27 Bright Eyes Lights on the table. If you go to Youth Nationals, you're going to see 24 Bright Eyes Lights on the table. Ray is a huge contributor and supporter of United Kennel Club, and especially loves to do anything he can for the youth of the sport.
Yep, and the ones that are going to be at the Youth Nationals are a special edition. They're called the Avery Edition lights that all the kids are going to have. And you can probably speak on Avery just a little bit, what's behind that. I think that's important.
Yeah, Jeremy Davis, Carolina Coon Hunters, lost his son in an unfortunate hunting accident just a couple years ago, and I saw him just post 4 or 5 days ago that it was Avery's birthday. It would have been 8 years old, I believe it said, and it's an unfortunate thing. But man, they're instead of letting it hinder them, they're taking advantage of it, and they're using the platform that they have to keep Avery's memory alive and memorializing him with the Avery Edition light. They do vest. I actually have a pile of stuff from Carolina Coon Hunters here right beside me that Jeremy Davis donated for Youth Nationals, and he has the Avery Edition chest vests, and I don't know. It almost gets you choked up a little bit, thinking about it. But it's a special thing and a great memento of your win.
Very special, and he was a great kid and just the epitome of youth that are very active in the sport and just so full of life, And it's so it's a good thing. So Ray put that on those helmets, and it's just an awesome thing that he's doing there. Good lights too. Great, awesome lights.
Perfect. Well, without further ado, at this point, people may have already saw our online standings, which are updated with our final standings, but we're going to be announcing them here, and we're going to start out with our senior division night hunt. We had 49 kids accrue points in our senior division of the night hunt this year. I know there was a lot more cast winners than that. We don't have junior handler numbers for all of them, so make sure you guys are getting those junior handler enrollment forms. There's a couple forms included in each of your hunt packets that you have gotten. They're available online. Heck, get with us, email us, we'll get it to you. That way we can get their numbers in. You only have to do it one time, and you'll have a junior handler number for the duration of the youth years. So make sure you're doing that. The average point total for those 49 kids was 25 points. So hey, that's a two and a half cast wins if you break it down that way for the kids who have their points. 80 winning points for the winner this year is actually tied for the second most ever, and this series goes back to 2015-2016, so it's been around for a little bit now. We're coming up on 10 years of this race and series going on, and the 50-point cutoff for top 5 it's the most I've seen in my time. Typically we have several that do pretty well. It's a 2 or 3 dog race, but hey, the whole top 5 here was fairly competitive. Just a couple breaks here or there, and it could have been a different story. But I'm going to get right here to our overall senior division Spotlight Series winner, and that's Libby Ann Lancaster. She's a 15-year-old young lady from Memphis, Nebraska. She had 80 points across 5 cast wins in the series year, including double cast wins at the Iowa State Youth Championship. That's a state youth championship that is a 2-day event now, and was a cast winner at the Nebraska State Youth Championship, and at the very tail end of the year in May there at the Black and Tan Days Youth Championship. She kind of sewed up her victory there. Thing about Libby is she kind of one of our dual purpose handlers out there. She also placed in the top 5 in the bench show, which we will get to that later on, but she has a pretty good history here in the night hunt portion of it. She finally got that first place win this year. Last year she tied for 5th place in the Spotlight Series, and back in 21-22 she got 2nd place. So she's been knocking on the door. Super happy for Libby. She's been ran all over the roads with her dad Charlie and Miss Christine Fields up in Iowa. They've been running around all over the place hitting these youth events, and it paid off for her.
Congratulations to Libby. That's an awesome job. 80 points. That's a great year for her. So congratulations to her. Hey, we had 3 kids that were tied with 60 points, just 20 points behind the leader here, and I'll start with Brooke Sneed out of Cherryville, North Carolina. She's a 17-year-old this year. Most folks should probably remember that name, Brooke Sneed. She was the back-to-back youth national champion in last year and in 2023, so 2-year winner. She was a double cast winner at the 2024 Youth Nationals, cast winner at the Southeastern Treeing Walker Youth Championship.
Won the Spotlight Series
last year. She won the Spotlight Series last year, yeah. So that's where she got her 60 points there. So she was one of those tied with 60 points. 17 years old. That means she's going to time out or age out this year. But man, she's had a great youth career.
Someone's going to have to try to beat her this year at Youth Nationals.
What's her dog's name that she was hunting?
No Name Ep.
Ep. That's it. Ep.
Yep.
And then her dad just put a huge win on Ep at a major big money hunt not too long ago here did very well with him as well. So that's that dog she's hunting too. That was a good dog. That Ep dog is a good dog as well. So yeah, just runner up here for Brooke Sneed. Good job, Brooke.
6 cast wins in a row at Youth Nationals for that team, so someone's going to have to bring it.
Yeah.
Also tied for second here with 60 points is Dane Blessing. He's a 17-year-old young man from up in Memphis, Missouri, not far from Iowa, where our Youth Nationals was last year. He got those 60 points across 3 cast wins. He was a double cast winner at Youth Nationals last year and actually ended up second overall in that final cast. And he also got a cast win at the Iowa State Youth Championship, so that made up his 60 points. So congratulations to Dane on a good year.
Yep. Hey, all 3 of these kids 17 years old here. Here's another one from Ottumwa, Iowa. Reagan Middlesworth, also 60 points across 3 cast winner, was a winner at the 2024 Youth National last year, and a double cast winner at the Iowa State Youth Championship for her 60 points. Reagan Middlesworth from Iowa.
Yeah, you can tell right away that that pocket of clubs up there in southern Iowa, northern Missouri, they're going a long way for the youth here. They have plenty of opportunities to get out and accrue points for themselves.
Yeah.
Let's see, we got a couple here tied for 5th. We didn't have a good round number here, so we got a few tied for 5th. Our first one is Mr. Aiden Mitchell. He's a 16-year-old young man from Williamstown, Kentucky, and Aiden had 50 points across 4 cast wins this year, including a win at the Kentucky State Youth Championship, which is always a great event during the year.
Hey, I see Aiden all over. If he's not hunting a coonhound, he's hunting a squirrel dog, or I'm surprised I haven't seen him at a beagle event. But that kid just loves hunting. He loves dogs, and he loves hunting, and he loves competing, and he's a great kid, too. Congratulations to Aiden. He's on a lot of lists. Kason Apple of Ottumwa, Iowa, again, a 14-year-old kid, Kason Apple. He also had 50 points, 3 cast win, double cast winner last year at Youth Nationals, was actually 4th overall there.
Also tied for 5th here is a 14-year-old young lady, Lily Canoose, from up in Chickasha, Pennsylvania. She got 50 points across 3 cast wins this year, including a couple state youth championships in New York and Maryland.
Yeah, then we have Trenton Roark rounding out this list, also tied with 5th with 50 points, 3 cast wins. Tazewell, Virginia. He aged out on May 16th of this year. He is now 18 years of age, but he had cast wins at Plott Youth Championship in Kentucky, at the State Youth Championship there, and then also at the Tennessee State Youth Championship.
Yeah, so a good group of the seniors there. Congratulations to all of them. Hope to see several of those at Youth Nationals, and I know I will. Be handing out the overall winner stuff for the overall winners there, and then also have some certificates for everyone else we talk about here to round out the top 5 at that event. So hopefully you guys come out and get them. If not, I'll get your address from your junior handler enrollment information and mail out your certificate to you.
Hey, I'm gonna push for them just to be there. There.
Yeah,
it's going to be a fun event in Milton, Indiana this year.
Absolutely. Let's get to the junior division night hunt. We had 66 junior kids, so that's 12 and under that have accrued points throughout the year, and that's, of course, ones who have their junior handler numbers, so make sure you're getting those enrollment forms filled out. Average point total for the junior kids was 20 points, so a couple cast wins was the average. Again, the top of our standings here was as competitive as it's been since I've been here, and looking back into the history a little bit, about the highest it's ever been. The leader and the overall winner of the junior division this year almost doubled the highest point total we've ever had for a junior winner in this series, which was super impressive. The 2 dogs that are tied for second had points equal to any winning total in the history of the event, so they would have been a winner almost any other year except for this year. They ran into a buzzsaw, and that buzzsaw, the overall winner, Mr. Jackson Cable, just an 8-year-old young handler from Connorsville, Indiana. And Jackson accrued 150 points this series year across 12 different cast wins. He had double cast wins, and he was our 2024 Junior Division National Champion at Youth Nationals last year. He had cast wins at the Kentucky State Youth Championship, the BBCHA Spring Youth Championship, and he was a double cast winner just there in May to kind of sew up his series year at Black and Tan Youth Championship in Flora, Illinois. In addition to all of those major events that he was able to go and secure wins at, he also had 6 YEPcast wins in 3 different states. They're a big supporter of of clubs that put on YEP events. If you have one there in Indiana, Ohio, Southern Michigan, that they're a crowd that you're going to see there quite a bit. And Jackson, just foreshadowing a little bit, he wears a couple different hats. He'll also be in the top 5 of the bench show category as well.
Yeah, congratulations, Jackson. It's amazing what a couple of years in age difference it makes. He started young, obviously. His dad's a big-time hunter. His mom's been around dogs all her life, so he was born into it, and he can't help it. I'm sure it's in his blood, and it's just apparent that he just loves it as well. We're going to see a lot more of this young man here. Here a while back, earlier in the spring, he was in the back of my truck, did a little podcast with a squirrel dog. I mentioned Aiden Mitchell. Aiden is one of his buddies, and they're competing a lot of times, but they're kind of in different age groups right now. But hey, congratulations, Jackson. That's just an awesome year. 150 points. That's wild. Tied for second, you mentioned we have 2 of them with 80 points, both of those. The first one is an 11-year-old from Waverly, Iowa, Braxton Ragard. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Braxton Ragard had 80 points, 4 cast wins, was a double cast winner last year at the Youth Nationals, and then also had a cast win at the Iowa State Youth Championship. So congratulations. Just any other 80 points any other year would have been a winner for sure.
Yep.
But like you saw, they're competing against Jackson Cable, and that is pretty tough, but still awesome year for Braxton.
Absolutely. And also to this next one here, Easton Kissamore from Elk Garden, West Virginia. Easton actually would have turned 13 during this year in December, but they keep their point tallies for however old they were at the beginning of the series year. They will stay in that division for the entire series year, even if they move up and are hunting in the upper category, age category. So Easton had 80 points this year across 6 cast wins. He was a cast winner all the way up at Youth Nationals in Iowa. He had a cast win at the Ohio State Youth Championship, and they were a big supporter of the YEP events there in West Virginia, having accrued cast wins at 4 different YEP events in the year in West Virginia.
Yeah, the one thing I'm looking at this list, one thing I'm noticing, these kids are all from different areas. We have Indiana, Iowa, we talked about, and then West Virginia. Now I'm going to talk about Lydia Hayes. She's a 10-year-old from Sullivan, Illinois. 4th with 60 points. Was good enough for 4th overall cast winner last year at the Youth Nationals. She also won at the Illinois State Youth Championship and also BBCHA Spring Youth Championship. So 10-year-old Lydia Hayes, 60 points for her. Great showing last year. Good year.
Good year. And rounding out the top 5 is probably one of the baddest little dudes on this list, Dominic Hall from Brant, Michigan. He's 10 years old. His dad, Corey's all the time posting videos of him wrestling. They go all over the country. He does competitive wrestling, and according to all the trophies and the medals and the videos I watch, he's a pretty bad little dude, so pretty fun to watch. But also a pretty good hunter here. He was able to get 50 points across 3 cast wins this year, including cleaning up at home and being a cast winner at the Michigan State Youth Championship this year.
Congratulations to all these youngsters here. Bright future for all of them. Good job.
Now we'll move on to the senior division of the bench show, and man, we've talked about this we've done this podcast now for the past several years where we went over the Spotlight Series winners, and this senior division of the bench show is so competitive. It's one of the most competitive series out there in the coonhound world. I would put it up against anything as far as the miles that these kids and parents are putting on to accrue these points, and this year's no different. We had 58 different kids accrue points throughout the year that had junior handler numbers and that we were able to track. The average point total was right at 45 points, and that's the average. So that means the average for the people who we tracked points for would have been roughly 4.5 category wins, which is just great. And like I said, it's always a competitive division. The average point total for our top 5 here, 228 points. So we're talking about knocking on the door of 23 category wins throughout the series year, which when you bullet down 52 weekends, that's pretty hard to do.
Yeah, that's crazy. I was around for the first one and watched a lot of these kids, and there's a bunch of kids that were very successful, just like the kids this year and the last several years have been. Kids back 10 years ago were also did very well, and some of those have went on to do great things. And we look at some of these names here, and it's still so competitive, and it's so awesome to see it being this competitive, and it makes for an awesome series, and it's not. Nobody is being handed anything. They have to go. They have to earn it, and it's not just going. Earning it is requiring them to do their homework with their dogs. Yep. They're these kids, and if you watch them show their dogs, you will know what I mean. It's they say it all the time in horse sales and things like that. You're selling a bunch of horses here, and then here comes this horse in here, and you'll hear him say, there is a difference. And that's right. The same thing is true with these kids. There is a difference. Those that they work hard, and that's a lot of that is what makes a lot of the difference. They have nice dogs too, but they also work very hard at it.
Absolutely. And besting the crowd this year and being the overall senior division bench show spotlight series winner is Mr. Brody Bailey from Mooresbury, North Carolina. Brody's 15 years old, and he was able to get his 290 points this year across 23 different category wins, including wins at the Southeastern Tree and Walker Youth Championship, Grand American Youth Bench Show, North Carolina State Youth Championship, Georgia State Youth Championship, and the Virginia State Youth Championship. That's wins in 4 different states, if you're keeping count there. And also, like I said, they're supporting the local clubs in their area, 9 different YEP events that they were able to accrue points with. And Brody, he's no stranger here. He's been in the top 5 of our Night Hunt Spotlight Series standings, and also last year he was 5th place in this senior division in the bench show standings as well. So he's been a winner now for several years, and he's finally got the overall crown here, and he'll get him a special jacket and trophy and a Bright Eyes light to commemorate his win.
Yep, he's definitely one of them that works hard, and congratulations to him. He was in the running last year and just improved on it in 2024, and here you go, he is the winner. Congratulations. Hey, in second place with 240 points, 20 category wins is a young lady, 15-year-old Jordan Brooks. We've talked about Jordan quite a bit in the last several years, and just to watch her showing dogs, she's just such a natural at it. We've made predictions, wild predictions. She's going to do great things and win big shows, and I really truly believe that. She just has that. She just has those soft hands and the hands to handle dogs, and is so good at it. Just has that natural talent. You can tell she loves it. But 240 points, 20 category wins, as I mentioned. 14-year-old age class winner last year at the Youth Nationals. She got her category wins at the English Youth Championship, the Christmas Classic in Indiana, the Virginia State Youth Championship, and West Virginia State Youth Championship. She won last year in 7 different states, and then also had wins coming from 8 different YEP events. And I think in order in this division to win, in this category to win here, not only do they need to go to these state championships and breed shows and such, they need to go to as many of these YEP events as they can. And as you'll see, that these kids up here in the that finished high, they all did that. So 8 different YEP event wins for Miss Jordan. She won the Spotlight Series last year, was second in 22 and 23. Was second in 21 and 22 there, and then second in 2021.
Pretty good run for her.
Oh yeah. So I guess the way you have this, it's the 2022-23 season is what it amounts to, and then 21-22 season, and then also the 2021 season. But yeah, runner up a lot. Won it last year, but runner up. It's like every other time she's runner up. If she doesn't win it, she's runner up.
4 of the past 5 years, and then overall winner once. I'd say you take top 2 for the past 5 years. That's a pretty good run.
Yeah.
Next one I'm going to talk about here is Miss Hannah Cable. She got 3rd place from Cleves, Ohio. And man, we've talked about Hannah a lot on here too. You talk about how much we talk about Jordan. We've talked about Hannah a ton on this podcast since we first started it. She actually aged out of the youth division this year. She's 18 years old now. She aged out in beginning of February, but she had enough points to keep her in the standings here before that. And the first thing I'll say is that I was at Plot Days just a couple weekends ago, down in Tell City, Indiana, and she just aged out in February. And in June, she's already wearing hats for the Plot Association, where she took over their youth stuff. She's putting on the hunt and the show there. And my goodness, I don't know if I've ever seen that many prizes for the winners. I mean, if you look at the win pictures from Plot Days, you can't even see the kids amongst all the prizes that she has for them there. She absolutely knocked it out of the park. She wasn't afraid to go around to businesses and to people and to ask for, explain coon hunting to people and to ask for help with things, and it really showed. She did an awesome job there, and she knows what the kids want. You know, she just aged out of the youth division. She knows what they're using. You know, she had a lot of neat stuff that I wouldn't have thought about, probably, that she had just really cool stuff there for everybody. But let's get to her year this year in the Spotlight Series. She had 220 points before that February 5th when she aged out across 17 category wins. She was a 17-year-old age class winner, and for the second time, she won the Youth National Championship last year at our Youth Nationals event. Some of her biggest category wins this year were at the Plot Youth Championship, the Kids World in Brazil, Indiana, Indiana State Youth, Kentucky State Youth. Let's see, we got Southeastern Tree and Walker Day Youth Championship, the Christmas Classic up in Indiana, like you mentioned, and the Grand American Youth Bench Show, which is just a great way to kick off the year down in Orangeburg, South Carolina. She had wins in 5 different states. And like you talked about with Jordan, her run here, Hannah's run here has been incredible. Obviously, 3rd this year. She got 3rd last year. She was 3rd in 22-23, 2nd in 21-22. She won the whole thing in 2021 and 2nd in 19-20. So for the past 6 years, she's placed in the top 3 at least. And just an incredible run, an incredible young lady, and expect to be seeing her around for a long time, having an impact on her sport.
Yeah. And like Jordan, just a very capable handler and just good with dogs and just very good at it, just a smooth handler. Aged out in February, 1st of February already, so to finish 3rd, that's kind of doing it on one leg, so to speak, you know. But yeah, congratulations to Hannah.
Alan, you've been feeding Eukanuba dog feed for a while now. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I have, and I've really been able to put my beagles to the test, mainly running snowshoe hare up north where they run the hardest, where I put 15, 20, 25 miles on them easily in a day. And I've found that the premium performance sport has really paid dividends. Mainly, I noticed their stamina.
Yeah, same feed that I've been feeding. I think my dog looks good on it. He's really feeling good, and less kennel cleanup for me, so I highly recommend it as well.
Eukanuba, the official performance dog nutrition partner of UKC.
4th overall, 200 points, is Dakota Blanchett from Max Meadows, Virginia, 14-year-old, 16 category wins for Dakota. Had category wins at the Tennessee State Youth Championship, North Carolina and West Virginia. She won in 14 different states, 7 different YEP events. We talked about that, you know, how important those are. Get as many points as you possibly can. So 7 here for Dakota YEP events. But congratulations, Dakota Blanchett, 14-year-old from Max Meadows, Virginia. 200 points. Awesome year.
And 5th place, rounding out our senior division of the Bench Show Spotlight Series standings here, was our night hunt winner, Libby Ann Lancaster again, the 15-year-old from Memphis, Nebraska. She did an awesome job in the show as well, 190 points across 13 category wins for the year. Including hitting up some of the states around her. You know, when you're in Nebraska, you have to travel a little bit to get to these events, so it's impressive that she's in the top 5 in both. She had category wins at the Iowa, Kansas, and Nebraska State Youth Championships, wins in 4 different states, and obviously we talked about she won the senior division of the hunt, and she's also placed in this Bench Show Spotlight Series multiple times now. You know, you have your 5th place finish this year. She got 3rd in 22-23, 3rd in 21-22, and then 4th in 19-20, so she's a mainstay in this top 5 and another really talented young lady who's going to be around for a long time, winning a lot of shows, I would imagine, and hunts.
Yeah, congratulations to all of those kids. There's a couple more going to be aging out, you know, but that aren't on this list that have had great years, you know, or had a great year last year. But man, it's just amazing to me what these kids do, and a lot of them in this upper division will compete with most adults out there. and at the national level type of events. We'll see him at Autumn Oaks mixing up with the Penny Turners and all those major handlers, major show folks up. Not just Autumn Oaks, the World Championship, and all the big shows. They show all in all of them.
Yep.
And they are not intimidated.
No, not at all.
But you know what, Trevor? A lot of them started in the junior division already. Started at a younger age, and they've crafted their skill here, and just awesome at it. It's good to have programs like this for kids.
And then in 5 years, we'll be talking about this next crop of young handlers that we're about to talk about here next. And this is our junior division bench show winners. And I was actually tickled to see this. 115 kids in this junior division of the bench show accrued points through the year. So, hey, shout out to those parents or guardians or whoever's bringing them to the events, getting those junior handler enrollment forms filled out. 115 in this division. That's our leader so far. So I really appreciate that. That makes it really easy to track the wins and getting the kids the points that they deserve, and they're out there working hard for it. So average point total in this junior division was 28 points. So again, we're talking about 3 category wins in the year if you're not going to double points events. This is the third highest junior division winning total in the history of the event. So we're talking about a 9-year history of the event, and that's only 20 points shy of first place, which is actually the kid's sister, which is pretty neat, and 10 points shy of second. So they're all right there clumped together. And I was kind of looking through it here. These top 5, man, there's a lot of familiar names, and we'll talk about their placements in past Spotlight Series already, but it's already a really, really strong group here. And our overall winner here, I put a little note, the senior and junior divisions were as close point-wise as they have been since the 2019-2020 season. And that's because our overall winner of the junior division here was only 10 points off the mark set by our senior division winner, and this was with 280 points across 20 category wins. Our 2024-2025 Spotlight Series junior division winner was Lane Bally from Tomah, Wisconsin. Lane's an 11-year-old. He started out the year last year winning the 10-year-old age class at the Youth Nationals. He kept going, had a great year at some of the major events, and he was traveling. He had category wins at the Iowa, Minnesota, Kansas, and Nebraska State Youth Championships, and also did really well at both of the BBCHA Fall and Spring Youth Championships that they put on. And if you keep a track there, he had wins in 7 different states. So they were putting some miles on the old truck, I'd say.
That is pretty incredible, of only being 11 years old there. So, and to have 20 category wins like that, that's pretty amazing. And really, what we got to remember here is the kids. They don't separate them in a separate show from the adult kids. It's all one show. They all show together. True. So for him to have category wins, he's doing that against all the grown-ups, basically. They all are. Oh. Yeah. Congratulations to Lane. Awesome. Very impressive. Second is another name, another 11-year-old from Beverly, West Virginia, Paisley Warner. I hear this name quite a bit here in the last couple of years. 150 points across 12 category wins last year for Paisley. She had those wins came at the West Virginia Youth State Championship, the Ohio Youth Banquet. She was second in the 10-year-old age class last year at the Nationals. And second last year, won in the Spotlight Series, and won the Spotlight Series in the 2022-23 season, and was fourth in 21-22 season there. So another great year for 11-year-old Paisley Warner.
And here I get Jackson again. Here's Jackson Cable, third here with 130 points across 11 category wins. Remember, Jackson's only 8 years old from over there, Connersville, Indiana, not far from where Autumn Oaks is. So he's in the heartland of Coonhound events around there, and they have a lot of awesome youth events around that. And honestly, the big proponent of why we're taking Youth Nationals to that area this year, the area that does an awesome job putting on youth events and really making them must-attend events. On the show side, Jackson's some of his bigger wins. He had category wins at the Kentucky State Youth Championship, in addition to winning his 7-year-old age class at the 2024 Youth Nationals. I think that makes 3 years in a row that he's won his age class at Youth Nationals, and I know that that's something that they're shooting for, is to kind of win that age class as many times as they can. So that's a pretty neat thing for them to shoot for. On the show side, he had wins in 4 different states, and had wins at 6 different YEP events. And in this junior division of the bench show Spotlight Series, he's finished in this race high before. He was fourth in the race last year and fourth in 22-23 as well. And remember, Jackson won the hunt, third here in the show. Just a great year for Jackson out running the roads.
Yep, incredible here. The fourth place was Jacelyn Davis, a 7-year-old out of Dutton, Alabama. 100 points for Jacelyn, 10 category wins, a 7-year-old. We had wins at 6 different YEP events, and she is the youngest kid here to make the top 5 in either category. 7 years of age. Congratulations, Jacelyn. That's just awesome. 100 points.
Yeah, really cool 7-year-old. Obviously, my oldest daughter is 7 years old, and this past weekend we went down to Redbone Days, and I want to get her more active in the dogs somehow. She's not as apt to go hunting with me as much as she was when she was a little bit younger, so we sat and watched the show all the days and ended up buying her a show, and now hopefully get her showing around a little bit. And this just shows that there's a lot of young kids out there in it that love it, and it's a good way to get them out, something to do outdoors and messing around with the dogs. And hoping in a couple of weeks I'll have her feeding and watering and cleaning out the dog pens, and I won't have to do that anymore. So no, I'm just kidding. Rounding out the top 5 here in the junior division is Ethan Faith.
You probably won't get to. She'll probably want to do it all the time.
Yeah, you maybe. But 5th place here, Ethan Faith from Millington, Michigan. Ethan's 10 years old, and he had 90 points across 7 different category wins that all came in the state of Michigan. They're up there in about mid to central Michigan, and there's a lot of clubs up in that area that are big proponents of the youth, and there's a lot of youth events up there, so that's awesome to see. And this is his second time placing in the top 5 in the junior to bench show division. He was also 5th place in 22-23, so an absolutely awesome year for everyone. Congratulations running around, and it's already started again, guys. The series year runs from June 1st to May 31st, so we're already a month into the 25-26 series year, and we're going to have some big ones coming up. Obviously, Youth Nationals is a double points event. It's going to be an awesome crowd there. There's going to be a lot for the kids going on. We're going to get there in a second with some important information to know about Youth Nationals coming up. But hey, come over and see us. We're right in the middle of everything there in Milton, Indiana. We're right in the middle of everything. So hopefully a reasonable drive for most people. I know obviously a little bit further for some than others, but we try to move it around best we can. So one thing I thought was interesting before we move on to Youth Nationals is to talk about kids who do both, because I always think that's interesting to look at, and something that, we're big proponents of dogs that obviously can perform in the field but also are conformationally correct, and kids who have focus on both of those are the future of our sport and the future of our dogs. So actually 46 kids this year earned points in both the hunt and the show in this series, and I thought that was an awesome number. I was trying to figure out how to cut this off. I figured out 6 of the 46 accrued over 100 combined points, and I thought it'd be cool to recognize them real quick. We've already talked about all of these, if not all of them, but Brody Bailey, obviously the senior division bench show winner, obviously had a bunch of points there, but also had some cast wins. He ended with 320 combined points. Jackson Cable, obviously, again, won the junior night hunt division, but also had the good finish in the show side with 280 combined points. Libby Ann Lancaster, we talked about her, the senior division night hunt winner, but also finished high in the show, 270 combined points. Hannah Cable, again, she had to miss 4 months of the year, so she missed a third of the competition year and still finished with 250 combined points, so she was racking up some cast wins as well. Aiden Mitchell, he does a little bit of it all. You mentioned that. He also shows some good dogs as well. He ended with 110 combined points. And Lily Canoose also finished in the top 5. We mentioned her name already. She had 100 combined points already too. So an extra congratulations to these 6 right here for being so spectacular and adept in both events.
Yeah, that's just awesome, and Brody, seeing him hunt dogs as well, and obviously we know Jackson does both, and Libby's doing both. Hannah, I didn't realize Hannah hunted much, but obviously Aiden, I know that he does. He actually finished in the top 10 in the Feist World Hunt this last year, this last spring, and And they're Lily, all of them over at least 100 or more combined points. So that's pretty incredible. Good job, everybody. Congratulations. And I want to thank the kid or their parents and their grandparents and everybody who's taking them to these events. Obviously, these kids, most of them that we're talking about can't drive, so somebody's got to take them. They got to take them to practice with their dogs, as far, especially if they're hunting in the woods. That's not always the easiest thing to do. A lot of these kids have school, they have homework and a lot of things going on, and still they find time to do this. But it's good to see, and it must be very exciting for them too to have had such a successful year.
Yeah, and while we're thanking people, we should thank the clubs for putting these on. Obviously, each club can have one YEP event a year for absolutely free, no license fees, no recording fees. Hopefully, you're taking advantage of that. I do ask that if you do that, be at least a little bit familiar with how it works. Make sure you're knowing how to fill out the paperwork correctly with the handler information. Get those kids to fill out those handler enrollment forms if we don't have them, and that'll help us out a bunch and make it a lot easier on the back end, so the reports don't get hung up and the dogs and the kids get the points they deserve.
Yep, and sometimes you mention the clubs. You can't do it without the clubs putting on events for these kids and this and that. And we have a lot of folks that have done very well in the sport. The sport's been good to them. And sometimes you look for, we should consider giving back to the sport, whatever that might be. But there's probably not a better thing to do to give back to the sport is when you have a youth event in your area and you're able to consider going and helping out. In the night hunt, if you're familiar with the rules and such, go help Judge Cass. It's nobody's making any money. Hopefully nobody's asking for any money. It's a good way to give back to the sport. Go support these youth events and help judge, help put them on, and sometimes help just take a kid in your area that needs a ride to go to one.
Absolutely. I was going to end on that too as well. Guides and judges always can use them for these youth events. So.
Hey, Alan, I don't know if you've been messing around with this new Houndsman Advantage app at all, but I've been playing with it some, and it has some really cool features on it. One, it has the interactive scorecard view where you can assign strike and tree points at the touch of a button, and it automatically totals your scores after each set of points are scored and valued.
Yeah, no, I like it as well. Some of the features that I like is that you can access the rules and that it comes with a search function to easily find any specific rule. Also like that there's a place for your dog's registration numbers, and you can store pictures of your easy entry cards. I like that you can track two dogs' performances when out pleasure hunting. You'll find some analytics on your dogs. You can record their accuracy, win percentages, and a whole lot of things like that.
No more lying here on this app. The last thing about the scorecard I'll talk about is it has the summary view as well, where you can see the total points you have and the pending points that you have, along with tree timers for each dog. So it's going to come in handy for judges as well. So check it all out on the new Houndsman Advantage app.
Let's quickly talk about this year's Youth Nationals. It's the 25th annual Youth Nationals, and we just talked about the history of Youth Nationals not too long ago on a kind of run through the history of the event and how it started and where it came over the years, and that was a pretty fun podcast to do. So hopefully you go and listen to that one. But this year, July 18th and 19th, so we're only about by the time you listen to this, we're only going to be a week or less out of the event. And this year it's going to be at the Wayne County Coon Hunters Association Clubhouse in Milton, Indiana. So it's right there on State Road 1. You won't miss it. It's a very, very nice clubhouse, climate controlled. It's a big field for parking, and there's a tree line there to get some dogs and some shade as well. So it's very accommodating. Over the course of the weekend, there's going to be the 2 licensed night hunts. There's going to be one Friday night and one Saturday night. Deadline to enter those are 8 p.m. and it's $10 entry fee. Those are going to be 90-minute hunts. There's no prior qualifications needed. Just anybody with a coon dog that's from 5 to 17 years old can go and compete in those hunts, and we hope that you do. It's a double points event. We talked about a lot about the Spotlight Series. These are a cast win on either night would get you 20 Spotlight Series points, and like we talked about, especially when we're talking about these hunts, 20 points, and if you were to double up over the weekend, 40 points would go a long way towards putting your name towards the top of those yearly standings. So Jamie Eastet from West Virginia is going to be the master of hounds this year. He's super excited to get there and do it. He's always a big proponent of the youth and doing as much as he can for them. So looking forward to working with him there. The bench show judge this year, Tiffany Atkins from over in West Virginia as well. So we got the West Virginia dynamic duo coming over to help put on this event. And Tiffany, she just sent over our seminar by email a couple days ago and kind of looked through it. And, man, she went super in-depth. It's going to be really, really informative for the kids.
Yeah, I saw you passed it on to me too, and I saw she's going to do a great job with that, and should be very informative and a little bit different. She touches on a lot of things that they probably heard before, but she's that's always what I look for, something a little different, and she's got some different things in there as well.
Absolutely. So that seminar will be Saturday the 19th at 2 p.m. So be sure you get in there. It'll be nice and cool in the building there, and we'll try to have a TV with her slideshow up, and I don't know what else she has planned as far as visuals go, but it's going to be a good learning experience, not just for the kids, but maybe you guys come in there with me and we try to learn something as well. We can always find something to learn. Shortly after right after the seminar is over, while everybody's still gathered up, I'm going to take the time then to do our Spotlight Series awards. I'm going to hand out all the goodies and the certificates and all that good stuff to our winners, and then the entry deadline for the bench show will be not long after that at 4 p.m. So the bench show entry fee is $10, and we've talked about the bench show on here quite a bit. It's a little bit different, Alan, and instead of it being a license event where it was kind of I don't know, try to see who could get the best dog that weekend, secure the best dog that weekend. This is a little bit more about focusing on the kid that's showing the dog and maybe the homework that they've put in, practicing and looking at the standards and the rule book and that sort of thing.
Yep, it's more like a 4-H type show, maybe is the best way you can explain it. But yeah, the judge will in fact judge their handling abilities and how they react to everything, how they handle their dogs, basically, how they present their dogs, So the best thing I can tell them to learn or know what the judge might expect of them is to be at the judge's seminar. She's probably going to be explaining to them what some of the specific things she's going to be looking for. So anybody that is in the show or anybody that's there, you don't want to miss that seminar.
For sure, and it's going to be a fun weekend. I know they have a lot of other fun plans going on. I asked Angie right before I came on if there's anything that she wanted me to point out. She said that they're going to have, some activities going on. They're going to have snow cones for free for both days for the kids running around outside. I know they're always drained, so that'll help keep them hydrated a little bit. She's doing an awesome raffle. She's doing a great raffle where she's getting a bunch of good prizes, and I think it's going to be similar to how we've seen it in the past, where if you enter, maybe you get a raffle ticket put in a bucket and going to draw them out. And she's done something that I've seen other people do it for baby registries and wedding registries, and I've started seeing it popping up for hound events as well, where she has an Amazon wish list, and she has it on her personal page, Angie Cable. And I looked on the Amazon wish list, and man, they just same as I was talking about Hannah, they think outside the box so well, and some of their prizes that they have on here, like clippers and portable fans, like stuff for bathing the dogs and grooming the dogs, and just some cool stuff to have for the hunt, but also some toys and treats and things like that. So if you can't be there, if you don't even have a youth that you can bring, you can still help out. Go over to Angie Cable's page and see if there may be something that you would like to help out with for the kids. So it's kind of a neat thing that she has going on, and anything we can do for the kids to make it better for them, we should all be pulling out all the stops here for them. I guess one other thing we should probably talk about is the tuition awards. Obviously, our overall hunt winners will be getting their spotlight or their Bright Eyes lights and their trophies for our top 10 each night, regardless of the age class they come from. But also, the top 4 in the senior division of the night hunt will be competing for their portion of $9,000 in tuition awards, with first place getting $3,000, second through fourth each getting $2,000, and then the overall junior division national champion is going to get a $1,000 tuition award as well. So $10,000 in tuition awards will be handed out over the weekend. With that going on, there'll be some other prizes and stuff going on. I don't have all that information just right here in front of me at the moment, but if you're looking for lodging and for restaurants and things like that, we're not going to be very far from Richmond. We're 20 minutes away from Richmond, Indiana here, where Autumn Oaks is. So there's a ton of hotels and restaurants and places to go. Obviously, most everybody who's listening to this has been to Richmond before for Autumn Oaks, and it's an awesome, accommodating place with a ton of stuff for all the handlers and parents and stuff to be there and to do while they're there.
Yeah, I'll just go back and hit on one thing with the tuition, just to clarify, you don't actually pay or write any checks there at the event to the winners. That money becomes available to them after high school, when they enter in further education, any school or anything like that. That's when that money becomes available to them.
Absolutely, and I think, man, we've just about hit it all. The last thing that she wanted me to mention, Angie wanted me to mention, obviously they're putting on the hunt there, and you talked about this a little bit, Alan. Judges are probably the hardest thing to secure at an event like this, because obviously there's no money to be made at this event. We're all doing as much as we can here for the youth. And that's our payout, is seeing their reactions and that they're having a good time at the end of the day. If you're willing and able to help judge a youth cast that weekend, they're putting names on the paper. She said reach out to her, reach out to Kevin Cable, and let them know that you are willing and able to be there and help out. And man, we would sure appreciate it.
If you commit.
So reach out to them, or if you want to reach out to me, I can get you in touch with them, or get your name over to them and all that good stuff. So, man, I think that about puts a bow on it. Don't need to. The event ad is available. It's been on our social media platforms. You can go to ukcdogs.com, our website, and navigate to the Youth Nationals page and find the event ad there. More information. Man, it's going to be a fun weekend there in July. I know it could be a little bit warm, but man, we have awesome accommodations there with a nice air-cooled building and plenty of shade, and it's going to be an awesome time. It's going to be a great 25th anniversary of the UKC Youth Nationals, and I really hope to see you guys there.
Hey listeners, Alan Gingrich here. Hopefully by now you've heard about our relaunch of the historic hunting dog publication, American Field. As the heartbeat of the hunting dog community, American Field brings us together in our passion for our dogs and our shared purpose for sporting adventures. With exciting feature stories about bird dogs, beagles, hounds, retrievers, and more, to informative articles on wild game cooking, conservation, canine health, guns and shooting, and more, this is sure to become the go-to magazine for every sporting dog enthusiast. If you're interested in checking it out, we're offering a free sample promotion now through July the 28th, and we'll leave a link in the show notes to claim your free copy. More stories, all dogs, one brand, your American Field.
Thank you for listening to the UKC Hunting Ops Podcast. Be sure to give us a follow so you don't miss any of our new episodes or content.